So I thought it'd be fun to kind of walk through my process of creating this piece, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about two big breakthroughs that I feel like I had from making this piece. So I guess for starters, I initially made this piece because I was actually taking a life drawing class at a local art center with a good friend of mine, and I don't think it's something I would have done by myself. So I think for me, like starting as a self-taught artist and seeking my own kind of education has really led me to come from like an intuition first kind of way of drawing. And so I think a lot of the self-taught journey is really reverse engineering a lot of that intuition and identifying what are the disciplined art principles and fundamentals that you can actually seek education about, or a Skillshare class or a YouTube video. So yeah, just shout out to that really good friend for pushing me to do life drawing classes and pursue other kind of forms of art education. And I think the second really big breakthrough for me when I was making this piece was actually overcoming my artist block. So I actually had a really bad artist block, I want to say from like March until June, which is quite a long time, or it feels like a long time if you're not consistent in your craft. And I was making art, but I was really just like pumping out whatever. And I think for me, the big conflict was, I always think for every creative entrepreneur, there's this balance between craft and business. You can't just have one, you have to work on your craft and you have to also brush up on your business fundamentals. And I think for me, this kind of led to me leaning into structures, systems, and optimizing everything. And I think what I really had to learn through making this piece and through just making things that I wanted to make was just letting go of that control. And I actually was recently recommended this book called Meditation for Mortals. Super, super great book. My good mentor who had kind of recommended me this book because she knows how type A that I am and how much control I try to have to just ultimately let go. Some big things and takeaways I've learned from it is really like making a have done list versus a to-do list, and you know, essentially doing what you want to do when you feel like doing it, how you want to do it. And it sounds like a very like no shit moment for type B people, but I think for me it was honestly a big breakthrough. So yeah, that's pretty much my two takeaways I want to say from making this piece, and I hope it was fun to watch. I'm hoping to make more kind of little walkthroughs like this and talking a little bit more about what's really happening behind the scenes as I'm making this piece. Yeah, it was a super fun piece to make. I feel like I really saw my improvement in studying like anatomy and understanding like overall shape structures, and yeah, big fan of Jennie's Ruby album, so, and just BLACKPINK overall, so it was fun to make. But yeah, hope this was enjoyable in any sort of way, and let me know if you want to see more of this, and if not, that's fine too. Okay.